right? We're on page 180. And Rabbi Yonatan Halevy is talking to us about humility, and he's saying that there are some exceptions to the need to be humble, and that is, for example, if you're the kind of leader which needs to lead, and part of your leadership requires that you uphold order, authority, rules, laws, then it's not proper for you to be humble externally. Internally, yes, but externally, no. You have to make sure that people fear this office, that people take care to not break the law. And he mentions that perhaps there's even a religious necessity to take on such a job description. For example, leading the Jewish community, being a judge on a bedin, a king of the Jewish community, so on and so forth. Rabbi Yonatan tells us, "V'gam im chayavtam hanchitzut hadatit," the bottom of 180. Even if religious necessity does cause you יוחז את המסלול השלטון בדאגה ובזהירות ובהתלמדות המעניקה לא ענווה. Even if it does cause you to assume leadership, you must be careful, worry, be fearful, be vigilant. Study the things that will make you humble. וישמור עליה ויחזקנה. אם ממילא נמנהו הסוג הענבים על ידי תפילות ותחנונים. There's some other things you could do to reach humility. For example, to wake up. Maybe we can close that door for a second. Thank you. By praying. To pray to Hashem. Say, Hashem, listen, I need your help. People are respecting me. I know that I need to allow them to respect me. But don't let it get to my head. Don't let me become arrogant because of it. Let me realize that I'm doing it because that's what they need, but not because that's what I want. Woe to the person who begins to need that respect. You know, rabbis say that if somebody runs away from honor, honor will chase after them. You run away. If you're the kind of person who is not looking to be respected, eventually you'll be the kind of person that people want to respect anyways, against your will. So one guy comes to Rabbi Nachman of Breslov and he complains, I don't understand, my whole life I'm running away from honor. How come honor never chased me? He's good for your whole life you're running away from honor, like a little, you're always looking back. You're chasing me? Stop looking back. Really run away and then it will find you. Because you keep looking back, you're not really running away. It's all a game. It's all pretend. That story reminds me, somebody once came to Rabbi Yisrael Salanter. And Rabbi Yisrael Salanter was the founder of the Musar movement. And he says, Rabbi, if I buy a lottery ticket, and I believe with complete faith that I'm going to win the lottery, because Hashem is going to help me win the lottery, will I win the lottery? He says, absolutely. If you believe with complete faith that you are going to win the lottery, he says, then you'll win the lottery. It's not even a question. So the guy goes out, he buys a lottery ticket for $100,000. Not the ticket. It's to win a lottery of $100,000. And he's waiting, he's praying the whole day. He's in the Beit Knesset. Finally, they give out the verdict. Who wins? The results. He didn't win. Comes back to Rosh Hashanah. So angry. But you told me I'm going to win. You said that if I believe with complete faith, and I believe with complete faith. He said, let me ask you. Do you really believe with complete faith that you were going to win the lottery? He said, absolutely. He said, if somebody would have come to you 30 seconds before they announced the results of the lottery, and they said, here, take $90,000 in cash. I'm keeping the lottery ticket. Would you take the cash or you keep the lottery ticket? I said, of course I would keep the cash. So you didn't believe in complete faith, because why would you give up $10,000 for nothing? That's not called complete faith. To know how to pray, to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I know that I need to accept respect. I know that I need to have authority, but don't let it make me conceited. Don't let it make me arrogant. V'kimam bedalot, wake up at night. Why at night? At night, there's nobody looking at you. You'll find that tzaddikim, their nighttime is their playground. This is when the tzaddikim study, when tzaddikim write. I once came about 10:30 in the morning to visit our parents, and he was talking to me, but he was falling asleep. I never saw him like that. I said, oh, you okay? He said he woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom. And after the bathroom, he was thinking about a certain halakha in the laws of Avilut, of mourning. She said, okay, before I go to sleep, he's just going to go take a look in a Shulchan Aruch, a book to make sure. So he takes the book down. He said, and before he knows it already was time for him to go to Shacharit. So what did he do? He put on his clothes, he went to Shacharit, he came back, he said, this is the first thing I came to his house. He just forgot to go back to sleep. Because nighttime is the Tzeddikim's playground, because nobody's there, nobody's around, nobody's watching you. There's no act that you have to put on. There's no one who's checking out to see, oh, how righteous are you really? Nighttime is a time to wake up and have real conversations with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'ribui kri'ot, v'ishtachavayot, and to bow down, to kneel frequently. The phobia of Jewish people, the phobia that they have towards looking like Muslims. Why anybody would want to look more like a Christian than they would like a Muslim, I don't know. I'm not sure. Between an Inquisition and Intifada, I don't know what the difference really is. Why one is more refined and the other one is less refined, I have no idea.
Western.
What?
Catholics bow down too.
Is it true? Catholics bow down like Muslims bow down?
No, not
I
like
never saw
Muslims.
such a thing. No, not that
They
kind
do
of
that, but not like Muslims.
They kneel down.
They kneel
Yeah,
down.
kneel. That's different.
Kneel.
Yeah.
Okay, they kneel down.
But they're still upright. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Yeah, they kneel
You know why they
on
kneel?
their knees, yeah.
Because when you bow, that's giving
They
it.
don't bow.
Kneeling is like when you propose to your wife. It's like, here, do you want this ring? And then I'll beat you afterwards. Now that's how, throughout history, men have been kneeling and then abusing their wives, no? Because kneeling is not a sign of giving it. I'm not telling you it's a good thing that's what men did. But the same men who are ugly people are the same men that kneel. Bowing down, what does Islam mean? What is
Submission.
a Muslim? Submission. Submission to Hashem. Sadly, it hurts me a lot that we've become so removed from even understanding basic religious theology of other religions that we have a really hard time figuring out who's more similar to us and who isn't, and which values are more similar. And more similar, everyone's Aved Avodah Zarah, everyone's an idol worshiper at the end of the day. But to know which places to take from, better Muslims, there's a good midah of submission. To give in to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have this exact problem in the culture of this country. Nobody can give in. Americans, not just American Jews though are the worst. Not the women the worst, not worse as in bad people, are the worst in giving up their right of choice. I had a student who was from Russia. I gave a shiur once in Ichot Tefillin. And I just suggested that there's another opinion on how to wear tefillin. And the next morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, he called me from Rabbi Atiya's office. That he's buying a new pair of tefillin, he just needs to know which one. You know how many times I've given that class in other places? Nobody's ever bothered to change their tefillin. Why? I didn't ask him to change their tefillin. There's a certain move of, you know what, and there's a democracy. Also with Hashem, there's a democracy. Hashem says to keep kosher, okay, but when I go out, I don't keep kosher. Or Hashem says to do Shabbat. Most of the time I do Shabbat, unless there's a good concert happening on Friday night. Oh, Hashem, what do you mean? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, either HaKadosh Baruch Hu is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or he isn't. Struggle? I'm not telling you people can't struggle. But there's something in this society about, I need to be free. I need to be able to do what I want to do. And it's not a Jewish concept, for sure not. Sometimes it's important for us to get down on the floor and say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you created us in your image. We're sick and tired of creating you in our image. If I could summarize Judaism of the 21st century, is creating Hashem in our image. That's what we spend our time doing. There was a rabbi who used to joke that that's why all the Jews used to be in the garment industry. Because they were so experts at tailoring Hashem that they also did the same thing to clothes on the side, you know.
Now, my father was in the car.
But it was a running joke back in the day. That's why the Jews they called it the shmata industry. You know?
Right.
They were cutting things and lining because it had to fit. You know, Judaism also had to fit. It had to fit our suburb life. It had to fit our love for this, our desire for that. To bow down on the floor is a physical act of submission to Hashem. Now, does Hashem need us to bow? Absolutely not. But we sometimes need that. We sometimes need that feeling of there's a rabbi whose class I was listening to recently. They're saying, you know, the piyut that we sing in Slichot. One of the second, during the 10 days of Tshuva, it's the second song we sing. We say, Lemancha Elohai, Ratzam Nechashicha, Lemancha Elohai, for your sake, Hashem. When the whole community stands up and they're saying to Hashem, Hashem, do something for your sake. We're sick and tired of talking about ourselves all the time. Do this for me the whole year. Hashem, give me money. Hashem, give me health. Hashem, give me this. Hashem. One time come to the B'Kriyas and say, Hashem, let's do something for you. That act of giving in to Hashem that we do during Slichot, we don't do that the rest of the year. There's something powerful in that feeling. With the highlight for us, before the repetition of the Amidah, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, I'm sure those of you who've been with us before, you remember this piyut. It's a chilling piyut because the words that are there. Adonai, Shamati, Shimacha Yareti, Adonai. Hashem, I heard your voice and I was trembling. It's an awe of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're so afraid. We tell people, you gotta love Hashem, you have to this Hashem. It's true, I'm all for the love of Hashem, but sometimes it's okay for you to realize there's a creator of the world. Nothing's going to happen to you if Hashem actually exists and He actually sometimes tells us things that we don't want to hear. So what? Submission. To bow down. So we stopped bowing down in our tefillah service because people didn't want to look like Muslims. It's a chaval. When I pray at home, I bow down on the floor. I'm not afraid to tell you that.
Rabbeinu Avraham himself tried to bring that back.
He tried to bring it back and the community didn't care much for it. Ushkida al Kriyat Torah, study the Torah, v'sivrei Nevi'im and the writings of our prophets, v'hitamkut b'rayonot haniskarim le'el, and meditate on these ideas that we've mentioned until now about humility, v'hitchabrut im yirei Hashem, and to associate yourself with God-fearing people, v'hachna'a mipnehem u'tchushat hachna'a mipnimit b'mchitatav, and allow yourself the humility that you can't allow around other people. Have at least a group of friends where you can not put on a show for it. It's very important to you. You know, in Chabad Chassidut, this was a big push. Today, I don't know that it exists, but in the olden days of Chabad, they had this idea. What is a farbrengen? You know what it means? Today, it's like, let's get drunk and look like we're in a pub. That's what it looks like a farbrengen today. What is a real farbrengen? What does it mean, the word farbrengen?
Every time I've been to one, it's like they talked about like what they're learning, or like something good that happened, or just like to come together and like rejoice, and also to like learn and study.
So the word for brain is hitva'adut, is in Hebrew. It was meant to be a close-knit circle of friends. You don't farbrengen with strangers. Not in the olden days. You do it only with really close friends. People that, let's say you made a mistake, you did an avirah, you did something wrong. This is the group of people that you're going to bring it up with. These are the people that you're going to tell them your flaws, and they will never tell somebody else, but they're going to help you get over it. It's like your personal, super intimate, personally violating support team. It's important for a person to have such a thing. You know, it was a thing back in the early days of Chassidut. Rabbi Nachman suggests you should have a friend you tell all your avirot to. Everything. That, not because you're like avirot buddies. A person who can help you, like the kind of person that's not going to judge you. That's not going to judge you. You know, I got through high school with a friend like that. A person you could talk to. Just a person that, I just got a letter from him yesterday. This person, one day you're going to find out, he's one of the 36 tzaddikim generation Rasul. He's perhaps one of the most special Talmidei Chachamim that I know. He was in class with me. I used to share a room with him. And today he's like in the clouds. To have someone to share, because if you don't have someone helping you keep yourself in check, so what can you do? An ideal, perhaps, would be to have a spouse like that. But what can we do? That's not always the situation, and that works out. So we have sometimes other places to go. But at least have a group. You know, the Ramchal in his yeshiva, they signed a pact. I don't know if you've ever seen this pact. One day I'll teach it here in the class. Of all the things they promise each other, they made a soul pact that they're binding their souls together for the rest of eternity. That they will never speak lashon hara to each other. That they will never lie to each other. That they will always be there for each other. That they will pray for each other. Things that they will be able to share their hearts with each other. Literally like a brotherhood. I don't know how to explain it.
Brotherhood would be a good one. It's a nice thing to work towards, I think. But I think, forgive me, but most American Jews, at least my generation, we had a lot of stock riffs and ways of shoulds and shouldn't be's. It was very hard to get to that because you were supposed to be like this, you were supposed to do that. And if you weren't, it's like, I'm not worthy was the only prayer. Self-esteem was lost.
Absolutely.
And people didn't want to talk about each other because no one wanted to admit they weren't perfect.
Does that ever say, I don't know that it was just then. I think today it's worse. Maybe different, not worse, different. Even the things that we've allowed today that other generations would have frowned upon. So there's just a whole new world of things that you can't do and can't talk about and can't feel about. And you'll tell somebody and all of a sudden they'll stop being your friend. They'll stop talking to you. They'll never want their kids to be anywhere around you. And it's not, why? Why can't I have a friendship with a person that's real? We don't have real friends. They have acquaintances. The Rambam says there are certain friends that are called friends of convenience. They're there because you need each other. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It could be just hanging out with each other is all I need from you, but that's a friend. Or it could be, I like the fact that you pay my bill when we go out to a restaurant. Or it could be whatever thing you could think about. But if there's another motive in that friendship aside from, I'm absolutely in love with this person, then that's not a true friendship. The test, I don't know if it's a good test, but somebody once suggested San Diegans would have a hard time with this mashal. If it was 3 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of a winter month, and there was a snowstorm, and your car broke down, and AAA was backlogged for 6 hours,
Who'd you call?
who's the friend that you would call that would get out of bed to come pick you up? The one that you would call that would wake up and not, who? I don't remember who you are. Hang up the phone. Yeah? Not that friend. The one who's actually there for you. I recently was watching a court case. A boyfriend and girlfriend, high schoolers, got busted doing something. They both were taken before. It was like a program to help kids before they actually end up in prison. And the state prosecutor took each one separately and said, would you testify in the other one? No, never, we love her, I love him. 10 minutes later, well, if you don't testify, then we're talking 25 years to life in prison. Oh, well, in that case, forget him, I'm talking. That's not a real friend. That's not a real friend.
Stiff thing to threaten somebody with.
Oh, very stiff thing. I'm not judging. They said my best friend won't be the one to bail me out of jail. They'll be sitting right there with me, right? And that was the Chas v'shalom. You should never be going to jail with your friends. What I mean to tell you is that we use the word friend very lightly. When really the word we should be using is an acquaintance. Our friends are the ones that are actually there for us. The ones that when we go broke, they don't stop being our friend. They're not the ones who, you know what? It's uncomfortable for me to hang out with you anymore. Or the ones that Chas v'shalom, a person goes to the hospital, and all of a sudden they find out there's no one visiting them. What do you mean? I have 100 friends. I have 3,000 Facebook friends. Where do all those people go? Be very careful who you call a friend. Having friends that you can grow with is not to be undermined. One of the 48 ways to acquire the Torah, it's mentioned in the Mishnah, in Pirkei Avot, the 6th chapter. The 48 ways to acquire Torah, one of them, b'dibuk chaverim, by clinging to friends. Have people that when you're with them, you're not putting on any shows. I am who I am. I want you to know who I am. And I'm going to reiterate what Zev mentioned, that is, don't do this so quickly. Because people are very disappointing. It's not right to... You might want this kind of friendship, but don't think that you found it. Wait a very long time before you trust a person with this kind of information about yourself. Wait. It's caution. Because you'll find that kind of person, and it may take you a long time, but wait, because if you do it prematurely with the wrong person, Hashem Yishmael, what can happen from such a thing? But even the king of Israel needs a person who actually knows him. Knows who he is, what he is, how he is. Yonatan and David, for those are, they're both royalty, but they need to be able to trust each other. You find this also sometimes with certain Admorim in the olden days. They had friends, people that around them they weren't the Rebbe, they were the person. It's important. It's important for any human being. Alright, that's for today. We'll begin tomorrow.